Hey guys, Anders here, and in today's video we're going to be going over weapon setups for every single weapon in the entire game. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. Keep in mind that while I don't have all the attachments for every weapon in the game, I know exactly what I'm going for each weapon. So I'm going to tell you guys the best attachments to have for every single weapon in the game, including secondaries. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more like this. This is on the Season 1 patch, so this very well might change if they change some of the attachments later down the line. But as of right now, this is going to be updated and accurate. So without further ado, let's just get into it, because we have a lot to go over here. I'll try to be quick. So with the Glock, you basically just want to have tactical compensator, laser sight, and drum mag. And as a general rule for all of your weapons, you're going to want to have your ammo types that you want to use all lined up here. But keep in mind that these slots here that I'm mousing over are what your weapons attachments are going to be when you spawn with the weapon. So select the things you want to use and put them in the first slot here, because I've had some questions in the comments. Sometimes that is where you want to put those attachments. As far as anything else you want to use, you definitely want to make sure on every single weapon you have your different ammo types you want to use selected here. So for the Glock, I have combat drum, close combat extended, and close combat, laser sight, and tactical compensator. This just makes sure that my weapon is more accurate both in ADS and in hip fire. Just makes it generally more effective. The MP28, you're going to want to follow the exact same rule. Tactical compensator for increased weapon accuracy, and laser sight, and then obviously for your ammo types here, standard issue drum magazine, standard issue extended, and standard issue. You can run subsonic if you want, if you're running a suppressor, but I find that that is not necessary. Just go with the most ammo you can pack in there, and the tactical compensator and laser sight. For the Magnum, there is literally nothing to go over except for sight. That's just personal preference. And again, as a general rule for this entire video, don't listen to me when I say, like, oh, this is the best sight. There is no best sight. Use whatever sight you want, but as far as ammo, there really isn't anything to go over here for the Magnum. Unfortunately, there is not a suppressor for the Magnum, so very depressing. Moving on to the submachine guns. Now, some submachine guns are, I think, better run with certain things than others, but as a general rule, I would want to say that submachine guns are best run in the same way you run secondaries, with tactical compensator and laser sight. Now, obviously, the BCG light grip is another fantastic choice here. So if you find that the hip fire of your SMG is fine without the laser sight, go tactical compensator and BCG light grip. But if you want an overall more accurate weapon at everything, go with tactical compensator and laser sight. And as always, ammo types here, standard issue extended, standard issue, and high power. Moving on to the PP29, very, very simple weapon. Tactical compensator, there's literally just no downsides. The recoil is very, very easy to control. And I have high power, standard issue, and subsonic. If you use suppressors, make sure if your weapon offers a wrapped suppressor, that is going to be the best suppressor to use, as it does not decrease your effective range. Moving on to the MP9, same rule of thumb here. Tactical compensator, laser sight, BCG grip, just have those two on deck. Wrap suppressor, and close combat drum, close combat extended, as well as close combat. I also, as you can see here, I also have the major drip that you get from the battle pass. As for the K30, again, same rule of thumb, wrap suppressor, standard issue drum mag, high power extended, standard issue extended mag. Now, whatever order you have these magazines in, that can be up to you, but these are just the general ammo types that you want to have equipped. Now, for the assault weapon category, these weapons don't actually follow the same rule of thumb. Specifically the M5. With the M5, the best way you're going to want to run this weapon is absolutely with the short barrel. It drastically increases the weapon's rate of fire and thus how fast it kills. But in general, you're still going to want to have wrap suppressor, tactical compensator just equipped in here, just so you have things to actually switch to on the fly. You're going to want to run it with short barrel, BCG light grip, and standard issue extended, close combat, and high power magazines available for you to choose. And actually for the bottom row here, I like to keep some grenade launchers on hand just for if I need to blow someone out of somewhere. That's always available to you. For the AK, there's really no better setup than this. I've tested tactical compensator, BCG light grip, standard issue drum mag, standard issue extended, and high power extended. Want to make sure you have all the extended mags available to you, all of the ammo, and of course grenade launchers available to you as well. As for the SCAR is fairly straightforward. Tactical compensator, you cannot change anything about the grenades. You can't equip any grips, but you can change the grenades available. I like having just the normal HE grenade. I also like having an AP grenade for vehicles. I find that is very useful. And obviously high power drum, high power, and standard issue. AC-42. This gun is a little finicky. You can run this gun in a lot of different ways that I find to be effective. So, first of all, I think you're going to want to run this weapon with tactical compensator and laser sight. Reason being is this weapon is accurate enough to where I don't even think you need to run BCG light grip. You might not even need to run tactical compensator. You could probably get away with running wrap suppressor here. If you want, it's personal preference. And definitely use standard issue extended, standard issue, and high power. You can have these magazines in any order you prefer. But AC-42 is really a wide open book. I don't particularly think there's a bad way to run this weapon. But I found this way to be most effective in my opinion. Moving on to the LMGs. So LCMG is another exception to the rule. The LCMG, you're definitely going to want to run shortened barrel just for that increased rate of fire across all ammo types. Obviously, the tactical compensator is going to be a great attachment for this weapon as well if you find the accuracy is not great for you. But I find the LCMG is definitely accurate enough to where I don't really care about the tactical compensator, especially when I just run BCG light grip with it anyway. And as far as the ammo types, standard issue extended is actually going to be your best ammo type here, followed by high power and close combat. Moving on to the PKP. PKP is fairly straightforward, just tactical compensator and high power extended, high power armor piercing. Armor piercing is interesting with this weapon because you can do a deceiving amount of damage to vehicles with this, but there are definitely more effective anti-vehicle strategies than shooting 200 rounds of armor piercing PKP ammo into there. Now, the entire DMR category, except for the BSVM, I would say is really another open book here, but these are the setups that I find to be most effective. So for the DM7, you're going to want to pay attention to all three rows here because I find that this weapon, you really have to cater it to the situation you're playing in a lot more than other weapons. And before we get into that, if you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Link is in the description, and if you want to join the Discord, it's very, very active. I believe we're almost at 1,700 members. There's a bunch of channels. You can talk about whatever you want, except for Battlefield 2042 being the best game ever made. That is incorrect. Anyway, this weapon you need to cater to the situation you're playing. So I find the most versatile setup is, again, tactical compensator, BCG light grip, but sometimes the bullet velocity is a little slow, so I keep long barrel. Other times I'm behind people, and this weapon is honestly not the fastest killing weapon for multiple targets, so I also keep wrap suppressor. For the ammo type, I like keeping standard issue instead of high power first. I find that the extra ammo is better than the guaranteed 3-shot in this scenario, just because of the nature of DMRs in this game. I just prefer more ammo. Just know that high power is going to be a guaranteed 3-hit kill across the map. So if you prefer that, feel free to use that over standard issue extended, but always keep close combat in here as well. It is actually deceivingly good. You can spam it really, really fast, and with tactical compensator and light grip, you are going to be quite accurate at even distance, I find. SVK is the same way. You're going to have to tailor all these DMRs to the situation you're playing in. Close quarters, short barrel, standard issue extended SVK is essentially a more effective version of the RSC from Battlefield 1 and even Battlefield 5. This gun is disgusting with short barrel and standard issue extended, but for range, it's also equally as effective. But you're going to want to use high power for more long range scenarios. But in general, I would use the BCG light grip. You're not going to be hip firing with this weapon. So, yeah. You have to tailor this to how you want to play, but you're going to have to set this up in a way that you have all the attachments ready for you. So, you're going to want to use standard issue extended, high power, and standard issue. You want to have short barrel, tactical compensator, and long barrel ready, and obviously the light grip as well. VCAR. VCAR, you're going to want to have the close combat drum, close combat extended, and standard issue equipped for the ammo, as well as you can keep short barrel, you can keep tactical compensator, BCG grip, obviously. This weapon, again, tailor it to the situation. Finding need rate of fire, use short barrel. Now the BSVM, obviously the newest addition to the DMR category. This weapon is currently the most overpowered weapon in the entire game. This weapon is a guaranteed 3-shot across the map with high power ammo. It is also a guaranteed 1 headshot, 1 body shot with high power ammo across the entire map, and it's full auto. A lot of people don't know this weapon is full auto. Guys, when you spawn with this weapon, it will be on semi-automatic fire mode. You can switch this thing to full auto. So I just want everyone to know that, because I had a lot of comments in the other video saying, oh, you know, my finger gets tired clicking. Bro, switch it to full auto. Anyway, in my opinion, this weapon suffers absolutely no downside from the shortened suppressor. It just kills faster with this thing. But this weapon only has 3 barrels, so you might as well have all of them available to you. I use short barrel all the time, though. Definitely use BCG light grip. I tried laser sight out. I find that the accuracy is noticeable with the BCG light grip on this weapon. And obviously for the ammo types, you're going to want to run high power extended, subsonic high power extended, and close combat. Fun fact about this weapon, if you switch to the close combat ammo types, this actually turns into a submachine gun. So this is just the most versatile weapon and most effective weapon in general use case scenarios in the entire game right now. Obviously, it will lose to things like the MP9, the K30, the M5 with short barrel, LCMG, PKP in close range, but in mid-range, it will even beat the SCAR in a straight-up TTK fight. Bolt actions. This is fairly straightforward. It's a bolt action. You're going to want the fastest bolt velocity, laser sight, and whatever ammo you want. And that's really it, even for the NTW50. One thing I will mention for the NTW50 is the anti-material high power is actually noticeably more effective versus vehicles. So if you want to use that, definitely make sure you have that unlocked and equipped. For shotguns, definitely use factory barrel, laser sight, and double-aught buckshot or 00 buckshot for the MCS 880, and just keep buckshot and flechette. You can switch flechette out for slug if you want, just for that extra range damage, but I don't believe slugs are that effective in this game personally. As for the Government 4570, this weapon now one-shots in the chest within 20 meters, so it is pretty effective now. As for attachments, you're going to want laser sight on this. I don't have it unlocked yet. You're going to want laser sight in this slot, tactical compensator in this slot, or wrapped suppressor, and high power, standard issue extended, and armor piercing. Again, sights are personal preference. As for the 12M auto, the 12M auto is interesting because I actually find that I kind of prefer the factory barrel on this weapon, but the shortened barrel is obviously just insane on this as well. So you can go for really whatever you want in the barrel category. This weapon decimates people. For the ammo types, you're obviously going to want that buckshot drum mag, the buckshot extended, and the flechette shell, as well as the laser sight. You can go with the BCG light grip, but I find that hip firing this weapon, I mean, it's a shotgun, right? So you're going to be hip firing it. Laser sight makes sense. Crossbow. I don't have this weapon fully upgraded, but it is more effective than I thought. Now, you're going to want to run the standard bolt and the explosive bolt. The explosive bolt has a bunch of drop, but is pretty effective, actually. So, and believe it or not, this weapon is not a gimmick. I thought this weapon would be a complete gimmick. It's not, actually. It's very effective within close quarters. It reloads way faster than I thought it would, and it one-shots people in the chest. Up to, I think, 30 meters or something. I'm gonna have to check. It's not on Simthic. I think it's 30 meters, though. Don't quote me on it. For the bottom slot, you're gonna want laser sight here, and you're just gonna want standard bolt and explosive bolts. And, yeah. That is pretty much it for every single weapon setup in the entire game right now. Hopefully, I have to remake this video later because they added more weapons, but they could very well cancel the content for the game, and we will all be very disappointed. So, hopefully that doesn't happen, and thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Join the Discord, link is in the description, and I stream on Twitch every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Hope to see some of you guys there, and I will see you guys in the next one.